No other market research podcast earned recognition in 2019 and again in 2020 as one of the best in the marketing research field, but we did. This is Research Business Daily Report, and we're also known industry-wide as the only daily research video report. So enjoy today's edition of RBDR and any others that you continue to want to watch, and then we hope you'll lend your support for our Research News video series. And you can see on the screen where you can go right now if you'd like to do that. Stick with us to the end of today's video. We might give you some more ideas. I'm Bob Lederer, now in my 26th year as the respected voice in market research. This week's guest commentator, Paige Velasquez Budde, the partner and chief executive officer at Zilker Media, moves into her third of 4 commentaries today as she continues to spotlight specific marketing material that can be game changers in this still COVID timing. Budde goes in depth about news-driven content, and she thinks so highly of it that she refers to it as reigning supreme among content options. Paige, tell us why.
Now, the third category of content to build out for your micromedia strategy is what we call news-driven content. During the COVID era, this pillar of content completely reigned supreme. Over the past COVID-dominated year, brands have either thrived or some of them have even suffered cancellation, as mass media says. And the deciding factor for this was how quickly they could respond with news-driven content. Now, this content pillar hasn't really budged, even now in this still COVID era. As general mass media becomes noisier and consumers start to turn to micromedia outlets for their news, as we discussed earlier, one of my strongest pieces of advice is to take the opportunity to be seen as the thought leader in your area of expertise. So I want you to think of yourself as someone with the prominence of a columnist for the New York Times or whatever the comparable news publication is for your industry. When thinking of news-driven content, look at it in really 2 possible subcategories. 1, it's either calendar-driven, or 2, it's either headline-driven. Calendar-driven content should be based on what is front of mind for your audience a specific time of the year. Now, clearly, holidays and routines can lead the conversation for any industry during certain times of year. So let's address headline-driven content, which is the most important subcategory in building a news-driven strategy. So I want you to focus on right now, what is going on in the world that my audience is worried about? What are they paying attention to, and how can you, as an authority in this field, help them analyze that situation and truly give them value on it? So if you have, for example, an email newsletter, the quickest way to get it opened is leading with that news-driven headline right in the email subject line. The best way to be prepared for headline-driven content is to set up Google alerts around phrases that are important for your industry, keeping up with media outlets who are reporting breaking news for your industry, or 3, following thought leaders in your space on Twitter. Now, to create a stronger stance when you curate news-driven content, allow the top thought leaders in your company in each subject matter drive that conversation for your brand. Now, for this next video, we're going to be focusing on the third category of content, and that is going to be diving into what we call relationship-driven content.
That's a wrap on the Research Business Daily Report for today. We thank you for your views of this and all other RBDR videos. And each day, as you probably know, we strive to bring you a news item, an insight, or a commentary that you simply won't find anywhere else. So after digesting the video today and other RBDR reports, we hope that you appreciate us sufficiently to consider becoming a Patreon supporter. You can visit RBDR's exclusive crowdfunding platform at patreon.com/RBDR if you'd like to do that. We hope that you have a good research day and that we'll see you back here with us tomorrow. And until then, please stay safe.